Welcome to today's Seidokan Saturday. So continuing with the Tuidi for Shodan and the expectations, we learn all the way up at various points along certain individual techniques. And there's a very old video of Master Toma with Sensei Bob Teller doing Tuidi in the cafeteria dojo, where he's doing individual techniques and things. And then we start to flow from one hold / technique to another. So, and I also made a comparison, I may have mentioned this before, that Sensei Jerry Hobbs did years ago a list of the Aiki Jiu-Jitsu / Tuidi techniques, even though Tuidi and Aiki Jiu-Jitsu are not exactly the same. There's enough similarity and crossover, same reason Kurt Sieber Sensei has studied with Ibara and his Jiu-Jitsu for many years in their association with the Heilmans. But they're similar enough. But the interesting thing to me was in the list that Colonel Hobbs, that Sensei Hobbs made, was almost identical number for number, in order, same technique, as one of my students who had gone to the Shaolin Temple and trained there for several years. He'd go for a month at a time, once or twice a year. But once he'd been there long enough and they started teaching him the secret Chin Na, which is joint lock, muscle grabbing, choking, seizing, etc. Once he started learning those, he began making a list of the ones he had learned. And they were nearly identical, list for list. It was just a really interesting confluence of circumstance. But one of the first, so in simple terms, this is one of the first on both lists, and one that Toma Sensei does with Colonel Hobbs, is the handshake thing. Now, one of the biggest criticisms, why would you ever need Tuidi when somebody's shaking your hand? Well, if you're one of those asking that question, you have never seen the dirty fighters, the sneaky fighters, the guy who says, okay, I give, you beat me fair and square, offers a handshake, and then tries to sucker punch. That's what this particular movement is designed for, right? If he does this and then he hauls back like he's going to hit me, and I haul back just to hit him, now we both, it's the scene at the end of Rocky III, when Stallone and Apollo knock each other out. That's not the idea. What I want to do is when that hand starts coming, I want to be moving. So the technique here is, and there are a couple of ways to accomplish this. The base technique on which this is founded is a simple overlapping thumb. So I'm going to squeeze my thumb, and I've emphasized that this muscle becomes important to our grip and techniques. I'm going to bring that over the first knuckle of where his thumb metacarpal ends and the first knuckle joint. I'm going to bring that over, squeeze so that it bends his thumb this way, and press down. Then from here I can lift up, and we have a pretty good control of him. So that's the first basis of this technique. The entire technique, as done by Master Toma and taught to me from Jody Paul and on down, was the handshake comes, he's starting the punch. I'm going to take the web of my hand and press down. That immediately neutralizes the punch. From here now, I execute the thumb overlap. To help me, I can just, it doesn't take much, just lightly pick up his elbow. I don't have to get a big man grip on here. Just lift his elbow up. So his elbow's coming up, and I'm pushing down on the thumb joint. And that's where my control happens. Then there's some follow-up throws that we do with that. Okay, so go ahead and do it to me so we don't bust your thumb. I'm doing the punch, he drops down, locks in on the thumb, and lifts. It takes, put that grip on, takes very little. So that's an example of an individual single technique. Then, like I said, there are follow-up throws and things that would do that. But I want to go back to the theme of the Kakie leading into some of our Tuidi techniques. So we're going to do the over-the-top one. We begin coming over the top. This hand is guarding the center. This time, as I go back, I'm coming to his hand in this fashion here and take the fingers and up. Now, in most cases, that would be enough. I could finish him, hit him, throw him. If he tries to hit me with that backhand, I'm locking the fingers again here. So as I get this, one of the things I want to do is not turn his fingers in this way, right, into a cupping inverted, but rather bring them behind each other as I grab. So the index is coming behind the middle a little, and the pinky is coming behind the ring a little. And that allows me to get this grip. so that if he goes to try and hit me, I just add a little bit of pressure to it. From here, I'm going to come with my other hand, grab. Now we have a similar move in my Kempo number 9, where his hand is this way off the punch and I strike up. This time I'm doing it to the back of the hand and continuing to keep these fingers behind, lift this up. From here, there are several ways to go, but the easiest one is I'm going to drop back with my grabbing hand side and simply pull to the floor. Then I turn his palm up and that rolls him over. Now I can kneel on him, stomp on him, pin him, switch hands, look at other people, but I have this hand behind him to hold him down. Hey. That's fun, isn't it? Okay, so again, we start Kakie, boom, going over the top, however many times, get my sensitivity, rolling my shoulder, turning. In Tai Chi, there would be this toe lift, heel sit back movement, okay? As I go forward, I'm bringing this hand up, pushing across his fingers already, and I turn it in and up, extending the elbow. Come up under with the other hand. Now, instead of striking to his wrist, I'm going to actually hit the bones of the hand right there. Oh, that's fun. Then simply step back and pull down. Turn it. Over he goes. Now I can switch hands or keep the same hand, however, depending if I want to hit him here or depending if I need to look there. I can switch hands as needed, but I'm keeping this pressure on him. Okay. Single Tuidi, Kakie into a hold, flowing into a throw, lockdown, finish as desired, however you want to take care of business after that. That's our Seidokan Saturday for today. Next week we will look at the rolling push hand. So we did in and out. This comes from over the top. We'll look at a couple from the rolling push hand version, going into same thing, going into Tuidi, to throws, to flow, and so forth. I think that's it. Anything, Max? Good to go? Thank you for joining. Hopefully it helps you give some context. Like, share, subscribe, hit the bell, tell a friend, do the thing with the stuff for the people. And until next week, as always, let's keep practicing.